Have you ever wondered where your money habits come from? Do you find yourself clutching your money tightly, afraid to invest? Or maybe you're a shopaholic who can't resist a sale? Well, you're not alone. A recent CNBC and Acorn survey revealed that a whopping 70% of millennials say their parents are the biggest influence on their financial habits. That's right, 70%. Our parents shape so much of who we are, from our values to our beliefs, and it turns out their relationship with money can leave a lasting impression on us. Now, this isn't about pointing fingers or blaming our parents for our financial woes. It's about understanding how their experiences have shaped our own financial journeys, for better or for worse. In this video, we're going to dive deep into 10 common money habits that you might have picked up from your parents, and I'm going to give you my take on whether it's time to ditch these habits or embrace them. Are you ready? Let's do this. Now, I know your parents probably drilled this into you, save your money, and don't get me wrong, saving is crucial. But here's the thing, there's a difference between saving and hoarding. Some people save for a rainy day, and that's important, but then they keep saving and saving, afraid to touch that money even for important things, even when it could be growing for them. You see, when you stash all your cash under the mattress or leave it in a low-yield savings account, it's actually losing value over time thanks to inflation. It's like running on a financial treadmill. You're working hard, but you're not really getting ahead. Investing, on the other hand, is about putting your money to work for you. It's about making your money grow faster than inflation so that you can achieve your financial goals. Now, I'm not saying you should throw all caution to the wind and invest in risky ventures, but I am saying that a healthy approach to saving involves finding the right balance between short-term savings for emergencies and planned purchases, and long-term investments for your future. Remember, saving is about protecting what you have, but investing is about growing your wealth over time. So don't be afraid to put your money to work for you. Now, this piece of advice is often touted as the holy grail of personal finance, but let me tell you, it's not always the best approach. I know, you're probably thinking, Suze, are you crazy? Retirement is important, and you're absolutely right, it is. But so is tackling high-interest debt. Think of it this way. High-interest debt, like credit card debt, is like a financial anchor dragging you down. The longer you carry it, the more it costs you in interest charges. And believe me, those interest rates can be brutal. Now, while contributing to your 401k is a fantastic way to save for retirement and enjoy those tax benefits, it's not always the best move if you're drowning in high-interest debt. Imagine this. You're diligently putting money into your 401k, earning, let's say, an average of 7% return. But at the same time, you're racking up credit card debt with a staggering 20% interest rate. It's like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain wide open. It simply doesn't make financial sense. My advice? Prioritize paying off that high-interest debt first. Once you've tackled that debt monster, you can then focus on maxing out your 401k contributions. We've all been there, making those financial blunders that make us cringe. Maybe you invested in a stock that tanked, or perhaps you went on a spending spree and regretted it later. Listen, we are all human, and making mistakes is part of life, especially when it comes to money. The problem is, many of us were raised to believe that money mistakes are something to be ashamed of, something to sweep under the rug and never speak of again. But you know what? That kind of thinking keeps us stuck in a cycle of financial shame and prevents us from learning and growing. Instead of beating yourself up over past mistakes, embrace them as valuable learning experiences. Each financial misstep is an opportunity to understand what went wrong, why it happened, and how you can avoid making the same mistake in the future. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about progressing. So the next time you make a financial boo-boo, don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge it, learn from it, and move forward with even greater financial wisdom. Now, I understand the appeal of playing it safe, especially when it comes to your hard-earned money. But let me tell you, being overly cautious with your investments can actually work against you in the long run. You see, while those low-risk investments like CDs or high-yield savings accounts might seem secure, they often come with minuscule returns that may not even keep pace with inflation. It's like trying to reach a distant destination by walking. You might eventually get there, but it's going to take a very, very long time. Investing, on the other hand, is like hopping on a financial express train. It can help you reach your financial goals faster and more efficiently. Now, I'm not suggesting you go all in on risky bets. but I am advocating for a balanced and diversified investment portfolio. Diversification is key. It's about spreading your investments across different asset classes, like stocks, bonds, and real estate, to minimize risk and maximize returns. Remember, investing involves some level of risk, but it's often a necessary risk to take if you want your money to grow significantly over time. Okay, let's talk about funeral expenses. I know it's not the most pleasant topic, but it's a reality we all face eventually. Now, some people believe that purchasing a separate life insurance policy specifically for funeral costs is essential. But here's my take on it. It's often unnecessary. Think about it, the average cost of a funeral in the United States is around $7,000 to $10,000. That's a significant expense, but it's not an insurmountable one, especially when you consider that most people have existing assets that can cover these costs. Do you have a savings account? A 401k? Investments? Even a modest car can be sold to cover funeral expenses. And let's not forget about your loved ones. In most cases, family members are more than willing to contribute to funeral costs as a final act of love and respect. Instead of purchasing a separate funeral insurance policy, focus on building a solid financial foundation. Save, invest, and ensure you have adequate life insurance coverage to protect your loved ones in case of your passing. That's a far more prudent use of your money than a dedicated funeral policy. Let's talk about debt. Now, I know what you're thinking. Suze, debt is the devil. It's evil. And while it's true that some types of debt, like high-interest credit card debt, can be incredibly detrimental to your financial well-being, not all debt is created equal. There's a difference between bad debt and good debt. Bad debt is what I call debt that doesn't help you build wealth or improve your financial future. This includes things like credit card debt, payday loans, or even car loans with exorbitant interest rates. This type of debt can trap you in a cycle of endless payments and drain your finances. Good debt, on the other hand, is debt that has the potential to increase your net worth over time. This includes things like student loans, mortgages, or even business loans. These types of debt can help you invest in your future, whether it's furthering your education, owning a home, or starting a business. The key is to be strategic about the kind of debt you take on. Ask yourself, is this debt going to help me build a better financial future? If the answer is yes, and you have a solid plan for repayment, then it might be a risk worth taking. Let's address this pervasive myth that you need to hit specific financial milestones by certain ages. You know, those arbitrary benchmarks like, you should have a six-figure salary by 30, or you should be a homeowner by 35. Listen, everyone's financial journey is unique, and comparing yourself to others is a recipe for disappointment and anxiety. There are so many factors that influence our financial situations, like our upbringing, education, career choices, and life circumstances. Instead of getting caught up in these arbitrary timelines, focus on creating a financial plan that aligns with your own goals and aspirations. What do you want to achieve with your money? Do you dream of early retirement, traveling the world, or starting your own business? Identify your financial priorities and create a roadmap to get there. Remember, it's not about keeping up with the Joneses, it's about defining your own version of financial success and charting your own course. Now, I understand the value of hard work and self-sufficiency. But let me tell you, trying to do everything yourself, especially when it comes to your finances, can be incredibly overwhelming and time-consuming. It's like trying to be your own doctor, lawyer, and accountant, all rolled into one. There are times when outsourcing tasks to professionals can save you time, money, and a whole lot of stress. Think about it. Would you perform surgery on yourself? Would you represent yourself in court? Probably not. The same principle applies to your finances. Consider consulting with a financial advisor who can provide personalized guidance and help you make informed decisions about your investments, retirement planning, or even tax strategies. Remember, it's not about admitting defeat. It's about leveraging the expertise of others to optimize your financial well-being. Now, this piece of advice might seem counterintuitive, but hear me out. While it's true that owning your home outright provides a sense of security and accomplishment, it's not always the best financial move to pour every extra penny into paying off your mortgage ahead of schedule, especially in today's interest rate environment. You see, mortgage rates are currently at historic lows, which means you're essentially borrowing money at a very affordable rate. Instead of rushing to pay off that low-interest debt, Consider this. You could potentially earn a higher return by investing those extra funds in other areas, like the stock market or real estate. Think of it this way. You have two buckets, one representing your mortgage with a 3% interest rate, and the other representing potential investments with the potential to earn, let's say, 7% or more. Which bucket would you rather put your money into? Now, I'm not saying you should ignore your mortgage altogether, but I am suggesting that you explore all your options and consider the opportunity cost of prioritizing mortgage payments over other potentially more lucrative investments. For generations, money has been considered a taboo topic, something to be discussed in hushed tones behind closed doors, if at all. But you know what? That silence is costing us, literally. When we avoid talking about money, we create an environment of financial ignorance and shame. We're afraid to ask questions, we're embarrassed to admit our mistakes, and we're left feeling lost and alone in our financial journeys. It's time to break this silence. Talk to your partner about your financial goals, teach your children about money management, and have open and honest conversations with your family and friends about your financial struggles and successes. Sharing our experiences, both good and bad, can help us learn from each other, provide support, and break down those walls of financial shame. Remember, knowledge is power, and the more we talk about money, the more financially literate and empowered we become. So there you have it, 10 common money habits that you might have inherited from your parents. As we've explored, some of these habits may serve you well, while others may be holding you back from achieving your financial dreams. Take some time to reflect on your own money habits. Do they stem from your upbringing? Are they helping or hindering your financial progress? Remember, you have the power to choose which habits to embrace and which ones to leave behind. It's your financial journey, and you're in the driver's seat. Don't be afraid to challenge conventional wisdom, seek out knowledge, and make informed decisions that align with your own values and aspirations. You have the power to create a brighter financial future for yourself and generations to come.